What will you do when the mysterious stranger you are married to, transformed into something that is no longer human, right in front of you? His body twisted, horns curling like ancient trees, his eyes hollow, deep as the abyss. His shadow stretched far beyond the trees, and he said, "You were warned," voice echoing like a drum in the deep night. The earth trembled. There are stories the elders tell in hushed voices, stories of love, of warnings, and of the unseen that walks beside us. Today, I bring you a story of a bride, my goodness, a story of a night when curiosity met the darkness, a story of Amara, the bride who was told not to look back. In a village where the earth was the color of blood, and the sun painted the sky in fire before it slept, lived a young woman named Amara. Amara is an orphan who no one cares about who she's marrying to, unless the suitor is from a wealthy family, and they will make sure that the marriage never holds. Amara was not like the other girls. Her beauty was quiet, not in the gold she wore, but in the way she watched the world, her eyes always curious, always questioning. One day, a stranger came to the village, tall, silent, dressed in dark cloth. He spoke softly, almost like the wind itself. "I seek Amara," he said, and the elders listened. No one knew where he had come from. No one saw him arrive. Yet he was there, and he was patient. The elders cast the cowries. They listened to the drum beats, and though there was no warning, something in the shadows shifted. "She will marry him," said the village head. And so, it was arranged. Amara was afraid to marry a stranger, but she knew no one would fight for her. She had too many unanswered questions, yet she accepted her fate. The villagers rejoiced, unaware that destiny would test the bride in ways no one expected. The wedding night came. The village celebrated under the moon, drums echoing in the night. Before leaving, the stranger took Amara's hand. His voice was calm, yet heavy with meaning. "Wife of mine, tonight you will follow me to my home beyond the forest. But hear me well. Do not look back. Not for any sound, not for any light. Do not look back." Amara's heart shivered. "Why?" she asked. The stranger only smiled faintly. "Some truths are not yet ready for human eyes," he said, voice calm like the still water of a forest pool. And with that, they set off, stepping into the forest that seemed alive, the trees swaying as if to greet them or warn them. The forest was alive. Branches snapped underfoot. Wind sighed through the leaves, and sometimes whispers called her name. "Amara, come back. Amara, why do you leave? Turn. Turn now." Each step became heavier. The moon above struggled through the dense canopy. Strange shadows moved around her. Fear pressed against her chest. "Do not look back." She kept her gaze forward, holding her husband's hand tightly. Yet the whispers grew louder. First soft voices of the past, her father, her mother, her childhood friend, the old village drummers. Then voices of sorrow, of warning. And finally she felt it. A presence following, breathing, waiting. Something cold and patient behind her. Amara's heart raced. The voices called her again. "Amara, see us!" Her feet trembled. Her mind begged her to obey, to turn, to see if her fears were real. The wind tugged at her red veil. The shadows stretched long. One step, then another. Just a glance. Just one look. And she did. Or so she thought. Behind her, the forest shifted. Figures emerged from the shadows. Dozens of brides, pale and silent, their eyes glowing faintly. They were trapped, forever frozen in the night. Their hands reached for her, their mouths opened in silent cries. And at the front, her husband. But he was no longer human. His body twisted, horns curling like ancient trees, his eyes hollow deep as the abyss. His shadow stretched far beyond the trees. "You were warned," he said, voice echoing like a drum in the deep night. The earth trembled. Amara's knees gave way. She screamed into the darkness. At dawn, hunters found her at the edge of the forest, alive but changed. Her eyes no longer saw this world. But here's the thing. Amara never turned. She passed out during the ghostly bride procession. Then, in her subconscious state, she expressed all the fears her heart felt, and even the worst fear of being a ghost bride herself. When she regained consciousness, she realized that it was all a dream. Then she remembered her husband's words. Some truths are not meant for human eyes. She took a deep breath, focused her mind, and walked on. Her courage shone like a beacon in the dark, and slowly the shadows began to shift, not threatening, but watching, as if respecting her strength. At the heart of the forest, the trees parted. A clearing appeared, bathed in golden moonlight. There, her husband stopped and turned to her. "You have trusted me," he said, "and you have listened to the wisdom of the night. Now you shall see what was always meant for you." The forest shimmered. Shadows transformed into lights, dancing like fireflies. The voices that had whispered her name before now sang in harmony, celebrating her courage. Amara realized the forest had tested her, and by not looking back, she had passed. Her husband led her gently into his kingdom, hand in hand, and Amara was amazed and confused at the same time, because she knows nothing about the mysterious man she is married to. "Where am I?" Amara asked her husband. "You are home, my beloved wife. This is Umuoha Kingdom. Now let's talk about the mysterious, tall, handsome, majestic stranger who married Amara. His name is Prince Chidera, a prince who hid his crown to find a heart that loved him, not for gold, but for truth. The kingdom of Umuoha was blessed. Fertile land, strong warriors, wise elders, and at its center, a palace carved from red earth and power. Prince Chidera, only son of Eze Namdi, was loved by his people, yet lonely beyond words. For every smile shown to him, bowed beneath his title, every greeting feared his future throne. He did not know who loved the man and who loved the crown. On the night of a restless moon, Prince Chidera knelt before his father. "Father," he said, "I wish to walk among the people, unseen." The king's eyes, heavy with wisdom, studied his son, and then he nodded. At dawn, the prince removed his vibrant silk, wore his black robe and coral beads, but removed his name. He became Dara, a mysterious traveler, with sandals and honest hands in search of a true love and a wife who will honor their ancient tradition of the forest test. Something followed him out of the palace gates. At night, Dara dreamed of a young woman named Amara. The spirit showed him her face and told him that Amara was different. Some souls are born curious of danger. Dara did not understand everything about his dream, but with faith he was on his way to a village far from the palace. The road welcomed him, then slowly forgot him. Villages he passed through could not remember his face the next morning. By the time he reached the river village of Amayi, he was no longer fully whole because no one saw or noticed him. That was where he pronounced his desire to marry Amara. Now that you know who the groom is, let's go back and finish our story. The villagers gathered at the boundary and watched in awe as Amara and their prince walked out of the forest, radiant and full of light. The elders nodded silently, for they understood that courage and trust could overcome even the deepest shadows. The kingdom of Umuoha welcomed their future queen in a lavishing ceremony. Amara was draped in a white silk fabric, adorned with red coral beads on her neck, white jewel on her head, and a bouquet of roses, as she was transformed into a princess she never imagined to be. The king, the queen, and the entire kingdom celebrated love that was tested and proven true. Amara was also dressed in matching red clothes with her husband, Prince Chidera. That night, Amara was truly happy for the first time, and her heart at peace, knowing that the gods meant well for her and had been rewarded. And so the elders say, not every path is meant to be rushed. Not every shadow is a threat. Some truths are revealed only to those who walk bravely, with trust and courage in their hearts. Tonight, as the moon rises, remember Amara's story. Courage, patience, and faith can turn fear into light, and darkness into a place where hope can bloom.